Okay. Hello, Ali.
Yeah, Anna.
Ali, you've been so inspiring today. I want everybody to know your story. So please quickly tell us about yourself.
I'm originally from Belarus, and I built several companies in the Eastern Europe. And 10 years ago, I relocated to San Francisco to make something even bigger. And here I repeated my first success. I bootstrapped from 0 to 5 million with the first company. Then I started even bigger company where I raised money. And out of those lessons, probably I can tell you later, I built what I've built.
So let's talk before we go into these lessons that I'm sure everybody wanting to know from your successes and failures. What are you building today? What did we see today?
So, tracing back to my biggest lessons I learned from my successful and not successful companies. So I vividly remember two cases. The first one when I met Vinod Khosla, and I thought I was prepared because I have 5 million in revenue. So I said that this is what I've built. And then when Vinod asked me what's next, my vision was not as big as Vinod used to fund. So I blew my opportunity to raise money. Then second time, then lesson learned, uh, and I generated the moonshot vision. I was able to raise from Techstars, Deep Tech VC as SOSV and industry partners, AB and Bev, to for the technology that uses byproducts into the fake beef to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. So, and that company was very well established with good patents, good partners. But this time I forgot that traction and sales are also important. So now, so having these two lessons, and after my other exits, so I think that every starting entrepreneur, and because of Claude, everybody could be an entrepreneur, solopreneur with the teammates, it doesn't matter. Should think simultaneously about two big things. So it should think big, have that vision, so to grow where and accumulate resources not only from venture investors but also teams, industry, okay? So, and simultaneously have the entry point or wedge. So the way how to get into that vision and succeed. And sometimes it's very hard to keep the two polars in your head. So my dynamic resonance that was inspired by hackathon at AGI House, yeah, was built and presented today.
Wow. So that solves a lot for the founder. So if we took an example, let's take a founder. How would they use this product today? What would they see potentially? What would they see in this process or these steps? Can you guide us through that journey?
Yeah. The journey starts from very basic resume, because resume, even if you download it from LinkedIn, already knows your capabilities. So, given the system your capabilities, it understands the first ingredients of the meal that you're trying to cook. Second thing, if you already built something and you want to reuse it, small application, piece of code, or you learned something specific in the domain knowledge, in biology, that's you took the major. So this is another atom that you can fit into the system. Then, if you saw some signs of demand, for instance, some people want something, or you stumbled a very cool article that says this would be the future, or you liked the interview on or podcast with a venture investor, and you think, yes, this is the right, give it into the system. If not, system already knows a lot about what is hot and what venture investors want to be built. And then the last thing, tell what you actually want. Surprisingly, whatever founder I speak, the answer is very simple. I want to build $1 billion company, venture backable, yeah, and fund it as fast as I can. So that's the entry point.
And then I understand, as we saw, this product helps design the different pathways to get there. So can you talk a
Correct.
little bit about that and
Correct.
optimizing these
Correct.
pathways?
So once you prepare the ingredients for the meal need to cut it, slice it, prepare it for the cooking. So the first step, it allows you to build your asset ledger. So when you understand what you can do, that's what's your credibility. So what maybe you can sell, or maybe your teammate. If you have teammates, it's even better. So it makes the ledger of all your assets, and which you can edit, you can delete. For instance, if some assets or related to your previous company or previous experience that you don't want to repeat, okay, let's eliminate. Let's start fresh and keep only my transferable skills that I can do. So this is the first step. Then system proposes you several visions. And this is not the final set. So this is the entry point to calibrate that system really understands what you want to build. Because if you uh, if you start from just $1 billion company, and it can be anything, but you want the company that you like and you can execute with your skills. So then, it's very important to sorry, select from the visions that was presented to the system, the ones that you feel the most inspired, and maybe even tweak them. There's a capability to add your commands, fork, and merge ideas. And once you completed these two steps, reviewed your asset ledger, what you can do, and reviewed what would be the vision. So then you empowered the system to find the ways how, what companies to build and how to get there. And then, as you saw on that graph, you will have the several routes that you can analyze and compare, okay, compare to start from.
Wow. So I still have a few more technical questions, but before we go there, I want to ask a question about, there must have been things that you've learned in your past experiences with your past companies that not only fed into building this product, but maybe today would be helpful for other founders, either related to fundraising, either related to your own, let's say, founder mindset, or even your own ideation, building a team. What would be like the most, you think, valuable lessons that from your experiences that you would want to share with founders, maybe at different stages, but maybe in the earlier stages of building their companies?
I was always wondering uh, about two polar experiences that founders get dealing with venture investors. One of them going through the endless answering the question, show me the traction. And it's never enough. So first they ask for 1 million, then 3, 4 million in revenue, and that would be not enough to prove that it works. From another side, there are companies who raise 30, 50, 200 million, yeah, just on the idea without any traction. How does it happen? So, and if we think about what makes those companies seed funded fresh on the idea, is that investors believe that that is the right thing to do. It's bold enough. So then you should think not about the faster horses polishing what already known, but about the cars, the future, so that uh, then you need to find the way how to prove that that future actually is credible. Nobody knows, but For instance, what I did out of my verbal conversations with investors. So if you show that uh, referencing to the similar company being built in the past in a similar way, then you have the pattern or proof from the history that this is more successful pattern rather than absolutely new idea without any ground there. So then you start thinking about that. Okay, you need to generate that big vision. It's not the faster horse, the car, yeah. And you need to prove that it has the right to exist because showing that the prior experiences. Then investors looking for the really risky bets. This is the job of the venture investor. So venture investor is not the private equity who analyzes your revenue and write you the loan. No, this is for the banks, yeah, or for the private equity. The venture investors would love to fund moonshots, yeah? But since they're money managers, they have their own LPs, they have their fiduciary obligation to validate everything. They want to see the proof that it's grounded. And that's your founder's job to do. Moonshot and grounded.
At the same time.
At the same time. At
And
the
that's
same
how
time.
your product was actually originated from that foundation. Correct? Correct.
Correct.
So
Yes, this is the well foundation of the
this is the
dynamic
bridge.
resonance. Yes,
Yes.
yes.
And I hope this can help as many founders as possible. Can you tell us how we can all sign up, to test it and be part of this community and test our ideas, hypotheses on our startups?
So I put on dynamicresonance.ai what I've built. So you can bring your tokens, your API keys from the trusted, Anthropic or OpenAI, whatever you love to use. And then for the $20, like a cursor, so you have the full experience. If you have any questions, since we are in the early days, I fully read all the customer support tickets, so please send it to me. Maybe answering your question, I can improve the platform for everyone. So very much appreciate it.
Thank you. Great. We talked about the product. So you've heard a lot of founders today. You've heard their stories, their mini pitches, as we always introduce yourself as as a serial founder yourself. What do you how do you think AI either it's changing? I mean, it's a common question. It's changing how founders build or their ideas or even their business model. How is it changing now, and how do you predict this changing in the future?
So I really liked my interaction with the LLMs in the early days because unlike reading books or reading or watching podcasts, I can interact, I can re-ask, and through that exchange of information, actually learning was happening for me. So I learned way more for the past couple of years because of that. Because despite that previously I was avid reader, 30 books per month, it was norm, yeah, but not that much probably left in my memory. But when I interact, this is the learning experience. And this is what I try to build this experience into the system. So feeding the atoms is the first step, but then reviewing the asset ledger, adding, cutting, eliminating, editing. So this is you understand yourself better. This is what's actually what is valued. Yeah, I never thought that my knowledge of the specific, I don't know, language allow me to sell in a different area, or my interest in the biology now allows me to hack my brain and apply AI on the BCI for this. Wow, this is useful. This is what I want to play. So then, doing the same interaction with the visions, you better understand your feelings. You'll be surprised how many people have no idea what they want, but they easily can pick presented options or improve presented options. So and through that, you this is actually what I want. This is what I can, and then you have the options what you can build out of there. Yeah?
Wow. And I'm sure it's stretching them, right? I'm sure it's stretching them. So
It's
it's not,
transforming them.
it's transforming them. That's the word that we love to see. Okay, so everybody, now you're gonna get a link in the chat to test it yourself. I'm excited. Thank you for coming and speaking to the founders. Any other parting words before we wrap up here to the founder community?
It would be so nice to see the entrepreneurship democratized. So everyone can become a solopreneur and work on their own. That would be my dream.
So let's hope this dream comes true. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in, and see you all next Friday. Bye bye. Wow.